Hello, secondary 2 students, with you, Mrs. Sarah Anwar. Today, I'll explain the transportation in animals. But firstly, what is the difference between transportation in the small animals and more primitive animals like protozoa and hydra and the more higher or bigger complicated animals? The difference that transportation in the less advanced animals like protozoa and hydra occurs by diffusion. So the gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide will transported by the diffusion process, which doesn't need the specialized transport system. While in the bigger and more complicated animals, there must be a vascular system or transport system to can transport all the food and oxygen and all the minerals and food for the plant, and also all the nutritive medium for the human and animals to all the body cells. So we have inside the human two transport systems: vascular system or circulatory system and lymphatic system, and both systems are closely related to each other and closed systems also. Let's start with the circulatory system. As we studied before in primary 5, that circulatory system is the system that transports all the digested food, oxygen, water to all body cells and carry the wastes away. But firstly, what is the structure of the circulatory system? It consists of heart, blood vessels, and blood. It must be closed and continuously connected to each other to allow the blood to flow throughout all the body. The first organ is the heart. The heart, as you know, it's a hollow which is empty from inside, made of muscles or strong muscles, lies or found in the middle of your chest cavity between the two lungs, surrounded by a membrane called pericardium. And what is the function of pericardium is to protect the heart and facilitate its action or facilitate the pumping of the heart to the blood without being hurt. There's the structure or the diagram that shows the structure of the heart. As you see here, it consists of four chambers, two upper chambers called atria, with a thin walls which receive the blood. One of them receives the blood from the lungs, and the other receives the blood from the all the body through a vein called vena cava. So we have here two atria, the plural called atria, two atria, and the lower chambers are called ventricles, left ventricle and right ventricle. So the heart consists of four chambers or four rooms. Two upper chambers are called atria, which receives the blood, and two lower chambers called ventricles, which will push the blood outside the heart. We have also blood vessels which are connected to the heart, which are colored with red and blue colors. They are divided into arteries and veins. We have here four branches of the pulmonary veins. Each two of them comes from one of the lungs and enter to the heart through this chamber. They are called pulmonary veins. On the other side, we have also another vein called vena cava. Vena cava. We have also two arteries comes out from the heart. One of them is the largest artery, which is connected to the heart, which is called the aorta artery, which is branched to distribute the blood throughout the body, and the other called the pulmonary artery. Inside the heart, it consists of two, or divided into two sides, left side and right side. This is the left side and this is the right side. Between each side of them, there is a septum or the wall that will divide the heart into two sides to prevent mixing of the blood, because there is different types of blood. One of them carrying oxygen, which is called oxygenated blood, and the other one contains deoxygenated blood or blood carrying carbon dioxide. Between the atrium and ventricle, there is a valve that separates between the atrium and ventricle and allow the blood to move from the atrium to ventricle and prevent its returning back again. While on the other side, on the right side of the heart, there is another septum or not a septum, it's a valve which prevents also returning back of the blood to atrium again when passes from the atrium to the ventricle. We have also two other valves, all of them are four, two of them between the atrium and ventricle. The left one is called the mitral valve. Here is the valves, the function of the valves. As you see here in the package, in the image, the left side of the heart has a valve between the atrium and ventricle called the mitral valve. Also on the other side has a valve called tricuspid valve, which has three flaps, and the mitral valve has two flaps. Also we have two valves between the ventricle and the arteries. Called semilunar valve. The semilunar valve between the aorta valve and pulmonary valve. It's a connection the heart with both aorta and pulmonary artery. So the heartbeats. What is the origin of the heartbeats? The heartbeats originates from the heart itself or from the cardiac tissues itself. It's proven also that if you cut the heart and separate it from the body, it can beat it for several hours. So what is the origin of the heartbeats? There is a bundle here called sinoatrial node. It sends impulses to the atrioventricular node, then to the His fibers, causing the ventricle to contract after the auricles contract. Also, this node connected by two nerves control the heartbeats. The normal heartbeat is 70 beats per minute, but the two nerves can increase or decrease the heartbeats. One of them accelerate the heartbeats and the other will decrease the heartbeats. The sympathetic nerve increase it during vigorous exercise, during excitation, and parasympathetic nerve will decrease it during sleeping or during sadness. What is the mechanism of heartbeat? As we said before, sinoatrial node making a contraction to the walls of atria, then to the atrioventricular node between the two ventricles, then to the His fibers, which spread the contraction to the ventricle walls to allow all the heart to contract and relax. The origin of the sound heartbeats. We have two sounds in the heart, dub and lub. And what is the difference between dub and lub? Dub is during the closure of the valves between the arteries and the ventricles during the heart relaxation or the ventricles relaxation, and it's short sound, while the lub is long sound, low pitched and low pitched, and during the contraction of the valve or closure of the valve between the atrium and the ventricle. As we see here, a comparison between dub and lub, dub shorter and high pitched due to the closure of aortic and pulmonary valve during ventricular relaxation, while the lub long and low pitched due to the closure of the two valves between atrium and ventricle during ventricle contraction. The next time we will complete the other parts of the circulatory system. See you next time.